Hello everyone. Welcome to lindasueplantsforyou. My name is Linda, obviously. And I want to talk to you today about my find yesterday. My hubby and I went to the Home Depot because I had to choose a pattern for something he's making for me, and I chose Easter Sunday because I thought no one would be in the store, and I was right. There was hardly anybody in there. So we weren't, however, able to do what we wanted to do because the person who handles what we were after wasn't there on Sundays, so we'll have to do that another time. But in the meantime, of course, I couldn't leave there without going through the plant section, and I haven't really purchased any plants to speak of for the whole winter. I think I got two tiny little ones. I got a little tiny one for $3.99 a month or so ago when I was with my daughter, but I haven't ordered any plants, and I haven't gone out to purchase any, and part of it was just because I was dealing with such a heavy infestation of thrips that I was overwhelmed, and I didn't want to bring anything into the house that, you know, and get that infested, so I just opted to not get any more plants for a while. But I'm really have had the itch now for a good month or so, and you know, when I watch the videos that others of you make when you are walking through the stores, I get so excited when I look at those plants, and I have quite a few of them on my wish list, but for now we're just going to have to do things very slowly. I'm still not sure that I'm completely out of the woods with those thrips, so until I know that for sure, I'm very leery about bringing anything else in. But as I said in a couple of my previous videos, well, I'll get to that in a second. Let's start with what I did get yesterday. This is called the Mammoth Elephant Ear, the Colocasia, and I did have some, I think they were giant or gigantic Colocasias a couple years ago that I grew successfully in the house, and we made it almost all the way through winter, and then they started to decline. And they also ended up with spider mites, so I got kind of disenchanted with growing those in my house. But I do want to put them in my yard, and I think I can overwinter these without a problem. I'm going to see. We're going to check it out this year. I got this plant. This was $14.98, and look at the size of this. I mean, it's huge. When they say gigantic, they mean gigantic. It's like the size of a small watermelon. And they're very easy to grow in warmer temperatures. But in Wisconsin, we have the winter weather factor. However, I want to say, for those of you who live in Wisconsin, I did see these when I was showing a home. As you know, I'm a realtor, and I was showing a home about 2 years ago, and their yard was full of these, and they were huge. I mean huge. I'm talking, one leaf was probably 2 to 3 feet wide. You could use it for an umbrella, really, truly. I'm not exaggerating. They were just enormous. And when I asked I was representing the buyer in that transaction, and I asked the agent that was representing the seller if she could ask the seller what those were, and what brand and what they did. And she said they were just your regular gigantic elephant ears, and they did not bring them in over the winter. Now, how they managed to do that and not lose them, I don't know. She wouldn't, she didn't go into all that detail, but, maybe it's possible. And that brings me to my question. If any of you that are viewing this live in a cold climate, or a climate that gets cold seasonally and have successfully left these in the ground, please let me know, because that would be great if that was possible. But anyways, looking at the size of this, you know, it's not just your little where you get the 3 bulbs in a bag. This is an established plant. So I'm assuming and hoping that this is going to really take off once we put it in the ground. But I'm not putting it out there yet because the ground is still pretty cold. So we're going to wait. Even though we're getting unseasonably warm temperatures day and night, it's still, I'm still a little leery. We have in the past, traditionally, our planting weekend has been Memorial Day weekend, and even that has let us down a few times, where we had this weird, freaky snowfall. And yes, the snow melts pretty quickly, but nevertheless, there are plants that couldn't handle having snow sitting on them all night and without damaging them. So because we're in the beginning part of April here, you know, our temperatures today are getting up to 78 degrees and only down to 60 tonight, or 58, something like that. And then for the next 7 to 10 day forecast, it's supposed to be similar to that, maybe 5 degrees cooler, but similar. And we just don't get weather like that in April for that length of time. So it's very tempting for me to start my outdoor planting. But I'm so scared. I'm so scared to do it, because I am not in a position where I can run out and cover everything up. That would have to fall on my husband. So, and he, God knows he's got enough to worry about right now without having that added. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that yet, but let's move on. Okay, the 2 plants that I got today, and I am going to take them out of the bag. I got these yesterday. Or am I? Hold on. What am I seeing here? I thought I just saw a bug. I hope not. Those of you that follow me know that years ago, this is how we kept from getting bugs. Although I gotta say, never ever did we have the type of pest problems that we have now. And again, I do believe it's because we are importing a lot of plants that don't have a natural predator, for one. I don't know, but it's very scary when you own a lot of plants. And so, since my thrift problem, I made the decision to put any new plant I get in a plastic bag for up to 14 days, 10 to 14 days. And if I don't see anything going on inside that bag, then I will take it out and repot it and spray it and put my bonide systemic granules in the soil and give it a little worm castings and then start over. Now, these have been in here since yesterday, and I'm not seeing any, I just want to look this over a little more careful before I open this bag, because I want to show you the plant, but I do not want to release any type of insects into my environment. And this is how you do it. You keep it in the bag, and you should really keep it in a separate room if you can. I'm not able to do that because I don't have a separate room with enough light, but I have been keeping it on a side of my room where I don't have too many plants. And the bag will help. If there's anything in here that's alive, you're going to see it. It's going to end up on this plastic. And right now, I'm not seeing any signs of anything. It's kind of hard. I have the ring light, and I have it for you guys so that you can get a better look at what I'm doing. But it's hard for me because the ring light is so bright in my eyes. It's hard for me to see what I'm doing. But you know what? I don't see anything, so let me just quickly open this up. And if your plant store or wherever you buy your plants do not provide plastic bags, buy some on your own and take them with you and keep them in your car so that if you do find that wonderful plant that you've been looking for so long, you're able to put it in the bag right away before you bring it in the house. So, here we go. Oh, her leaves are, she's not liking being in that bag. I can see that already. She did not have this brown on these leaves yesterday, so I already know she's not liking being in there. So I may have to switch out my plan here and take my chances. I honestly I just don't know what to do. This is something that I did all the time years ago. I put my plant in a bag for 10 to 14 days, and if nothing hatched in that time, then I knew it was safe to take them out. So I thought I would try to do that again, but I'm not sure that that's going to work with this plant. I know this guy will be okay. All right, so this is my Calathea Zebrina, and I don't think you can even see the, no. I'm looking in my flip lens. Let me just turn this light off for just a moment and see if it makes a difference in the color. Can you see the color on here? It's still kind of lime green on my camera, but it's not in real life. It's a very deep dark green, and it's like velvet. It is so soft. She's so pretty, and she's got new growth coming up. I believe I saw one. Yep, there's one down in the soil there. So she's doing really good. This plant, by the way, likes, as with all Calatheas, they like higher humidity, but by higher, I'm going to say, you know, around 50% is good. They struggle a little bit in the winter if you're getting down in the 30s, but not all of them do. This plant also likes, you need to have very well draining soil with her because she likes to be kept moist almost at all times. You cannot let this plant dry out. She will suffer from it if you do. And you have to be very careful also because she can be overwatered very easily. Now, normally when I have a plant like that, I want to put it in a terracotta. But in the past, any Calathea that I put in terracotta did not do well. It didn't like it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet with this. If you guys have any ideas, if you own this plant, please feel free to give me the suggestions of what you're doing. As I said before, I've got a lot of Calatheas and they're doing very well, and all of them prefer the plastic versus the ceramic, or the, I'm sorry, the plastic or ceramic over the terracotta. So if you have this in a terracotta plant pot and it's doing well, that's the answer that I'm looking for. So let me know, okay? All right, I'll turn this light back on. And this is my black gold Sansevieria. I guess they're now called Dracena, much to my dismay because I really don't care much for the Dracena family. And I love my Sansevierias, but it is what it is. Now, I haven't seen any signs on this one either of any kind of pest problems. So I'm hoping that, you know, she's going to be okay. She's very pretty, isn't she? Deep, deep dark green, and her leaves feel like a whale fin. They're so thick and healthy. And then you've got the almost like the Sansevieria marginata with the yellow on the sides. But this is called the Black Gold. And she's pretty much like most Sansevierias. She's, you know, you let them dry out pretty good before you water. And shouldn't have any problems with it. I am going to repot her as well and spray her. And I'm going to use a sandy soil when I do that, as I do with all of my succulents and cacti. Well, I shouldn't say all of my succulents, but most of them. They seem to do better when I add the sand. And I've heard people say horticultural sand. Folks, it doesn't matter. You can use any sand in your plants as long as it's not, you know, doesn't have any pests or infestations of any kind. I wouldn't suggest going out in your child's sandbox and digging up a pot of sand. But any sand that's been sealed in a bag, you can get them at the Dollar Tree for $1 for a small bag, and it goes a long way. Or you can go to the hardware store and get a bag of sand. Any kind of sand will do. Certain plants like a more coarse sand, but even there again, that's really never been a problem for me. And I've been using sand forever with my plants. So, and to be honest, I'm not sure what defines horticultural sand. I don't know the difference between that and other sands that I buy, but like I said, I've never had a problem with it. So that's what I would do. Now, my only problem here is this has a lot of orchid bark in it, and I have chosen not to use that for a while. When I had a outbreak of spider mites, not spider mites, fungus gnats. And I haven't seen a fungus gnat in many months. So I want to get this out of here. And if you follow me, you've heard me say enough times as to why I believe that's true. So okay, so I'm going to put these back in this bag for now. I'm a little bit leery because of this brown edging on here, though. It's possible that was there yesterday and I just didn't notice it, so I'm going to keep a close eye on it, but for now we're just going to put it back in the bag, and I am going to just watch it very closely because I'm so worried about something hatching out. And please realize that what happens is if you have eggs in the soil, they can take up to 10 to 14 days to hatch. And if that happens, they're going to be all over your other plants. So laying more eggs, and you don't want that. Okay, so that'll be it for this video. I have many more coming. I have a lot of things going on here that I want to share with all of you, so I hope you'll come back. If you like the video, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up if you like it, and if you don't, tell me why. Okay? All right, I hope you all had a wonderful Easter weekend, and I hope you have a good week, a productive week, and a peaceful week. Stay safe. We'll see you soon. Bye now.